Hello everyone, welcome back to my class again. So today we are going to continue our discussion about chemistry class, of course. So here we will try to discover what is the difference between ionic bond and covalent bond. So that after this class you will understand, yeah, this is ionic bond, this is covalent bond, the difference between them. Okay, so here we go. Ionic bond and covalent bond. We know that between atom or between element, they will have a kind of interaction. Okay, so that interaction it is called as bond. And then in periodic table, okay, the elements are categorized into two types of elements. The first one is non-metal, and then second one is, if there is non-metal, of course the second one is going to be metal. Okay, I don't need to, what we call it, mention the example of non-metals or the example of metals. Maybe it's your job to try to think what are the examples of it. Okay, I'll give you some hint, but okay, I'll give you some hint. Okay, the example of non-metal, let's say I have oxygen, and we will also sulfur is also non-metal, and the rest it's your job. For the metals, okay, I'll give you some example. Let's say there is iron. Okay, what else? There is sodium and many others. So please, it's your job to finish to complete the examples of the metals and non-metals elements. Okay, I will not discuss this one further. Okay, so here we will discuss about the ionic and covalent bond. So ionic bond, what is ionic bond? It is a bond that is being produced by non-metal element and metal element. Okay, so if there is one element that is categorized into non-metal, they interact with metal, so it means they will form ionic bond. And in ionic bond, there will be transferring electron. Okay, so that is the summary of the ionic bond. That, yeah, at least you need to understand about these two things. What about the covalent bond? Covalent bond, okay, the first one, if the ionic bond it is from non-metal with metal, so for covalent bond it is between non-metals and non-metals. And then, if the ionic bond, it is happening the transferring electron, in here, sharing the electron. Okay, I'll give you example about the ionic bond and the covalent bond. So here, let's say I have Na11. So in here, if you write it down, the shell, the electrons in shell, so the nucleus, and then you will have 2 electrons in here, there will be 8 electrons in here, and then the outermost layer will be 1 electron, isn't it? And then I have, let's say, Cl. Cl is 17. Okay, Na is 11, Cl is 17. So in here, yeah, let's say Cl. This is going to be like this. So plus 1, this one is 2 electron, and then there will be 8 electron, and the last one it is going to be 7 electron. Okay, and then in here, before talking further about this ionic bond, okay, the thing that you need to know is there is octet rule. Isn't it? What is octet rule? Octet, octa, 8. So octet rules, basically it explains that elements, any kind of element, tends to have 8 electrons in the outermost of its layer. So for example, it has 2 8 and 1. Okay, so there are two possibilities for Na to obey the octet rule. Whether it lose 1 electron, so it will be gone and then you will have 8 electrons in the outermost, or you need 7 electrons from outside for it. So you will have 1 plus 7, 8 electrons. Okay, so which one do we prefer? So losing 1 electron or gaining 7 electron? Well, it is easier for it to lose 1 electron, isn't it? So Na, after you lose 1 electron, okay, after you lose 1 electron, so here, Na, there is 1 electron in here, okay, and then it lose 1 electron outside. From neutral, after you lose 1 electron, what is it going to be? Na plus, after lose 1 electron, because the number of the positively charged subparticle compared to the electron, it is going to be more, isn't it? So the protons of the sodium will be more compared to the number of the electron of the sodium. Okay, so first it is Na, and then after we lose electron, we will have Na plus. How about this one, Cl? 2, 8, 7. Is it easy to lose 7 electrons, or is it easy for Cl to gain 1 electron? Of course, it is easy for Cl to gain 1 electron, right? So Cl, it has already 7. Okay, it has already 7, and then there is 1 electron comes to Cl. Okay, so before it is Cl neutral, and then it gains 1 electron. So what is it going to be? It is going to be Cl minus. So as you can see here, one of them is losing electron, one of them is gaining electron. Or we can say it like this. So Na give electron, Cl accept electron. So as you can see here, there is electron transferring, right? So Na give electron to Cl, or Na transfer electron to Cl. So there will be some kind of bond between Na and Cl. So Na will lose 1 electron, Cl will gain electron. So as you can see here, NaCl, it is going to be called as NaCl, and the bond between them, it is the ionic bond. Okay, so that is basically about the ionic bond. How about the covalent bond? Here, the covalent bond. Okay, just to be quick, here, Cl again. Cl, it has 7 electrons in the outermost layer, and in here we will have Cl also. Okay, one of them is Cl, one of them is also Cl, isn't it? So here it needs 1 electron. On the other hand, it also needs 1 electron, but it doesn't want to lose their electrons, right? They only need 1 electron, isn't it? So how can they make a bond? Basically share their electrons. So here it borrows 1 electron. Okay, so it will obey octet rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 electrons. And here also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it asks this one. It borrows. Okay, so this will borrow this electron, and this also will borrow this 1 electron. They are not transferring or receiving any kind of electron, but they are sharing. They know they need electrons to each other, so they just share their electron. So as you can see here, there will be some bonds between Cl and Cl. Okay, so this is one of the example of covalent bond. I'll give you another. Let's say oxygen. Oxygen is 16. Oxygen is 8. And then the covalent, what we call it, the electron valence, it is going to be 6. Isn't it? And there is also another oxygen. So let me write it down like this, so it will be easy for you to see. Okay, this oxygen and this oxygen. It needs 2 electrons and also it needs 2 electrons. Both of them are non-metal, both of them need 2 electrons to each other. How can they occupy the octet rule? Yes, basically sharing their electrons. So it will borrow these 2 electrons. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this oxygen also will borrow these 2 electrons. Okay. As you can see here, so it will obey octet rule also. In here, they only share 1 pair of electrons, but in here, they share 2 pairs of electrons. So the bond that is going to be formed is going to be like this. So here, there is only 1 single bond. In here, there is a double bond between O. And this is between Cl. Okay, I'll give you a homework or some task for you to do at home. Yeah, already understood actually. Hopefully. So here, I have N. No, sorry. There is N. 5 valence electron, and there is also N in here, 5 electron. So please guess how many bonds that it can form between nitrogen and nitrogen. Okay, so that's it from me. Okay, so we already discussed about the difference between ionic bond and covalent bond. And I also already provide you some tasks, so please try to solve this one. Hopefully, if you watch this video carefully, you can understand what I want to say to you. Okay, so that's it from me. Thanks a lot for your attention and have a good day.